What up, everybody? This is Edison T. Crux here in the land of amazing product placement. The product placement is strong with this one. Buy Twin City Vampires now. Anyways, I was doing some thinking and I realized that now I'm actually getting to that stage that I'm slowly stepping out of the realm of aspiring fledgling writer to author who actually kind of looks like he knows what he's doing, which is pretty crazy and pretty cool. So what ends up happening then is all of your friends or everyone you know, or who you kind of know, or who you cross on the street, or who contacts you out of the blue, wants to know how you did it. It's funny for me because it was not that long ago that I was in that exact spot. And I remember some of the key struggles of writing my first novel. I thought I'd put together a little list for you of in my opinion, the 8 biggest struggles of writing your first novel, and a little piece of advice from me on each one on how to overcome it. Struggle number 1. You have a huge, epic story in your head, but not a thing on paper. And this I know I was guilty of. I had this huge story, and it just took a long time, like forever, to actually get it down on paper. Forever. And I kind of spent a lot of time in limbo. The problem with that is then you're not a writer. Simple as that. If you're not writing, you're not a writer. You're a daydreamer. You're not a writer until you actually are writing that story. So my advice on this one, if this sounds anything like you, is break the ice, write something, even if it sucks. Because I got a newsflash for you. No one's listening? Ready? It's gonna suck. No, seriously though. If you're a new writer, then the stuff you write early on, it's gonna suck. Or at least it's gonna pale in comparison to what you're capable of. So just like you don't pick up a piano, I don't think anyone can actually pick up a piano. But if you try to start learning the piano, you don't expect to start, tapping away some Mozart or something. You got to miss a whole ton of keys and suck for a while, but keep practicing and you get better. It's the exact same thing with writing. Major thing number 2. Scenes in your head, in your mind, are epic. And when they're on paper, they're kind of bland. You can see it so clearly in your head, but when you try to get it down on paper, not so much. So best advice is just let it be bland and just keep practicing and getting better. Struggle number 3. You get 3 chapters in, which is why it's number 3. Get it? And then decide, I want to change everything. 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 I'm not even talking about a little revision. Whole plot is going to change. Everything. Something about 3 chapters. I don't know how many 3 chapters in I got before I was like, let's scrap everything. Now, my best advice on this, go with your gut. If you get 3 chapters in, first of all, congrats for getting 3 chapters in. That's something you're at least writing. And if in your gut you're saying, you know what, I got a better idea, then scrap it. Start fresh. Do it. Do that as many times as you need. Before I got the final version of Wisconsin Werewolf, I had 2 other complete outlines of stories that went in the trash. But each time I did that, it got better. Number 4. 4. You doubt everything. Every sentence goes under your scrutiny. Every bit of dialogue is analyzed. And as you're writing, you think to yourself, wait, is this right? Wait, is that proper sentence structure? The grammar Nazis, they're gonna get me! My advice, save it for revisions. It's hard enough getting a first draft down or getting past chapter 3 without worrying about all of these things. Save it for revisions. Remember that you're practicing. For now, just do your best to keep going. Number 5. The idea of sharing your story with someone else terrifies and excites you. This ties in with feeling like, every little word is in doubt. Because now, it's not just you judging your own writing, they're gonna judge you too. And it's gonna be the worst, and they're gonna find out all your flaws. It is so much easier to say, I'm working on a book, what? Check it out. But When then you actually say, here, read it, then they might realize that your writing isn't as great as you thought it was. So it's safer to be behind that mystique of just saying I'm working on it. My advice on this is actually kind of controversial to most people, and that's share selectively. Honestly, you don't need the input from everybody. Pick out a small group of people, 1 person to 3 people, who are very much your target market, and only share with them. You can't please everyone anyway. If you get too much outside input, you're going to be trying to fix things for everybody, and you end up with a much less focused piece of work. So pick a very small group and only share with them and get their input, and take their input seriously. I'm at the point now that the only person whose input I really get before a book comes out is my wife. And I know if she likes it, someone else will too. And that's who I write for now. So I'm very focused with that, which helps. I think it improves the quality of what I'm writing. Number 6. You start noticing popular culture stealing your ideas. Okay, maybe this one's just me, but I was working on Wisconsin Werewolf, and if you're not familiar with it, let me just give you a brief rundown here. Main protagonist is a guy named Will. It has a love interest named Eliza, crazy troublemaker he hangs out with, and the creepy old guy named Barbassin. And it wasn't until after I had gone a long way into that for the first time, I watched the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. Main character, name is Will. Love interest, Elizabeth. At least Travis, there's no Travis in there, but there's still a troublemaker he hangs out with. And the kicker, the creepy old guy named Barbosa. I just about had it when I finally watched the movie. I'm like, you're kidding me, they're stealing my ideas. But I haven't even got my ideas out there, but I can't be stealing them because I haven't watched this movie before. So that happened. My advice, if this happens to you, is find something, preferably soft, and bang your head against it until you get over it. Maybe a pillow. I don't know. There's really no fix to this. Just deal with it. Number 7. You notice yourself accidentally stealing from pop culture. When I'm like sitting there thinking of a name, and I'm like, okay, what has a flow to it? What moves me? And I think of a name, and it's like, oh, that's perfect. And then later I look it up, and it's perfect. It sounds natural because I heard it somewhere else. So my advice on this is Google. If you think a name just came to you just out of the blue, then don't trust that. Check it out. See if someone else had the idea first, because chances are that's what happened. Big number 8. You like being a writer more than actually writing. They like having a book done, but they don't really like the process of writing. And it's grueling, it's hard work, and there's a lot involved. It's a long, tedious process. My advice, if this is you, if you like the idea of being a writer more than the actual process of writing, is get out. Stop doing it. Dead serious here. If you don't love the process of writing, you are in the wrong field. Get out. You know what? If you want to actually be a writer, 90% of the time, you're writing. Sounds crazy, I know, but that's actually the reality of it, is you're going to be spending your time with your hands clicking away on a keyboard. It's slow, it's grunt work, it's not as glamorous, but that's what this career is. So if you're not in love with that part of it, get out. Out now, because you're going to end up wasting your time. The rest is cool, but only if you enjoy the process. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I look forward to providing any more useful tips and advice on people who are trying to get into the world of writing. Hopefully it's informative. If you have any ideas for future questions for me that you think a video would be good to cover, then let me know in the comments down below. Catch you later, guys.